Okay. Well, I'm waiting for my grandson to get off the bus for the last day of school here. Do a quick shot of my truck, I guess. Something to do. I'm a little bored. We changed the colors from the blue and orange. We were going to go main central with the hunter green and the yellow. And my grandson's like, Papa, let's do red instead of the yellow. I'm like, okay. So now we have hunter green and apple red. Up top, I got the S5A all ready to go with the replica 247 and 277 bells that I made out of extra bells, 25 bells, and had a couple of requests to switch the 44 for a 48, so we got the 44 out of it and the 48 tucked in, and it's ready to go. Got the Hancock air whistle in front and center, and we got the New Haven S5T on this side. And I'm going to swap out the 44 for the 48 on that one, and then I'm going to do a comparison of the two. I think it came out pretty good. And the colors go good together. I didn't know how they were going to look. We did one horn with this combination, and it looked really good. So here it is, the new paint job. And also, hang on, climbing up, rebuilt my horn setup. Don't do that. Took the 8-gallon that was down below underneath the bell, stood it up on the side, like we got the 5-gallon one standing up on this side, and then we took a compressor, which is a 2-stage permanent magnet motor, 80 amp compressor, belt driven, and slid it up into the bar and mounted it on the bar and gained most of my bed space that it was taken up back. Had to move the bell over a little bit to fit the tank. And here we have a brand new manifold that I found, actually, that white plastic PV glues together stuff. I mean, it works great. It holds 160 pounds pressure without a problem. No leaks, easy to put together, and it costs you pennies to use compared to steel or brass, and steel's no good. I learned that. That's why I did it over. So now any fitting that's a metal fitting is a brass fitting. There's no more steel fittings. Got all the constant CG valves all in there. Got 4 there, and they're controlled from in the cab with the Graham White valve, metering valve. This one here on the side of this tank is for the bell. So everything's nice and neat now. Got all the wiring down in here, all had to get in here on a bus bar. Used a trailer plug behind the cab. Plug it into the cab, and you just unplug it, and then you take the bar right out without messing with any of the wires. Trailer wiring harness worked really good for that. Six connector is what I used. And up here, what I did was I cut out some steel plate, 1/4 inch, punched a hole in the center of it with a hole saw, and welded in a 3/4 coupling. That way I have 3/4 for if I want to use an air whistle and need the volume, and this one's my spare, and it's pushed down to 1/2 inch. And what it does is this goes on the top or up underneath, which way you want to go. You set the gasket down on top of it, and then set the horn down, and then through bolt this with the horn to this steel plate that I have up in here, which stays inside the 1x2 inch channel iron. I have four up here. This is the spare in case I want to add another horn or another air whistle. You can slide them around wherever you want, and when you tighten it up, you put the other piece. This piece here goes up and down through, up on top, and when you tighten it up, it clamps right to the bar, and nothing moves, nothing goes nowheres, and it's 100% adjustable. And the other thing I switched to, other than the Hancock air whistle, I'm running 3/4 line for the air volume with a 3/4 CG electric valve to let the air go in that direction. I switched to 1/2 inch DOT line with the quick fittings. They don't leak at all. They're great. They're simple. And if you want to change something around, move an air line to a different spot or something, you just push down the little collar and the line comes right out. And it's set up on my valves with that, and also up on the mounting things that I made for the horns and the whistles. So all in all, I think it came out pretty good this time. It's a lot neater than it was before, but it was a work in progress for a long time. But now it's like, yeah, this is all the plastic, and I have my air tanks, a couple of tanks. I got 3 12-gallon tanks underneath, and they're all either tied together. The first 2 I put in with copper, and the second one I tied in with that plastic PVC, and it's been up underneath for a couple of years now, and I haven't had a problem. So if anybody wants to know the cheapest way to run an airline, if you need to take and do any plumbing or anything to build a manifold, this plastic PVC stuff is great. Just don't over tighten it, because you can pull the threads out of it real quick too. But that's what we got for now. Kind of the new horn rig, or I should say improved horn rig. Repaint on the truck, so it's kind of like a new adventure here. So we will hear everybody pretty soon. We're going to take off to New Hampshire and do a couple of videos up there in the woods. I'm going to bring the S5A with me so we can do a couple echoes over the cliff, get out in the enchanted forest and lay into it and get it to come through the woods really good, because I don't really have a good spot of woods around here to be able to enjoy the horns. So that's what we got right now. Anybody, you know, wants to know the easiest way to set something up, pretty much I've been doing it for a long time now. Hang on, I'm getting down. And I've figured out the easiest way, pretty much, and the most inexpensive and functional way to set something up without it costing a lot of money, because I dumped a lot of money into trying to figure this out, and guess what? I figured it out. Quick shot in here. There's my metering valve, my gauge panel with the switches. Got a couple extra switches in there too. And I used 3/4, that 300 psi fancy rubber line there to go out of the cab and hook up to the air tank and the manifold on the back of the truck. That way it's mounted to the seat, between the seats, so I can move the seat back and forth without worrying about the line. And under here, got the trailer plug for all the power. Comes in and out real easy, done deal. Got a air tank here. And 2 tanks here. So that's 3 12-gallon tanks. I'd like to get another one up in there, but I really don't have the room. So it's working out pretty good right now. I fried 3 alternators with this compressor because I was just running the regular 60 amp alternator, not thinking that it's an 80 amp motor. So the amp boss, I found a 170 amp alternator. I don't have any problems with amps anymore, so I have plenty of power for the compressor. And I've found that this compressor so far, it's quiet. It's not like the electric ones that hum in your ear big time. It fills up pretty much. I got 48, 49 gallons of air, call it 50. And from dead empty, it'll fill it up in about 20 minutes, which really isn't too bad, seeing that it's just the compressor that it is that's affordable. I got it from Airbag It, and I got it for, it was roughly $600 with free shipping at the time. I've gone through the Extreme Air compressors. I had 2 of them on here at one time. I tried a couple of the Viair or whatever they are, and Air Zenith. And if you just got a little thing you want to play with once in a while, it's okay. But if you want to, you know, be able to play a lot more, I guess you got to kind of go further into it. And if I ever get a chance to find somebody else that might want to do a horn honk and go to a decent place and do it, I got a great big 2-stage M-Glow gas 30-gallon compressor that'll keep up with 2 horns without ever running out of air if that thing's screaming. Well, maybe someday I'll be able to do that, throw that on the truck, and just go out and lay into the horns for like a half an hour straight or something. Okay, everybody. Well, I think I've talked enough now. This is what it is. 89 Toyota pickup. Horn rig. Works perfect for me and my grandson. Okay, I hope you guys got a little bit of information anyway if you're building something on, you know, the way to set something up, and just have a great day and enjoy the summer. See ya.